Hey, everybody! You're listening to the Mount Rushmore podcast. Can you believe it? My name's Jeff, and I'm joined, as always, by my good friends, Rickety Richard.
Did Wolfman Jack just show up?
If I'm lying, I'm dying. It's Michael Whitfield.
Howdy.
And this is the Mount Rushmore of
Jeff
things
is
that are
operating on 0 hours.
0 hours sleep.
This is going to be a goofy fucking episode, you guys.
I'm slap happy, but it's not making me any worse.
Wasn't that your porn name, by the way?
Yeah,
Slap Happy?
Slap Happy. Oh, God, the bruises on my cranium. So we are doing the Mount Rushmore of things that are simultaneous. We're doing the Mount Rushmore of things that are both the best and the worst. Is that right? Something like that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's close enough.
Yeah. Well, who thunk of it?
That's mine.
Oh, okay.
I thought of this because of one specific thing that I will get to in on my choices, but there are often
Cherry
times...
chapstick.
Cherry chapstick. There are often times that we make decisions in life. We either do something or that seems good at the time, and then in retrospect, it really isn't as good as you think it is.
Oh.
Or it's the reverse, where something seems so bad, but then ends up being like, oh, this is so beneficial. Usually for most of my stuff, it's best than worst.
See, most of my stuff are things that kind of are yin and yang.
Oh.
That you can't have the best part without the worst part, or they kind of operate.
That's interesting.
They operate like kind of not independently of each other, but sort of like in conjunction with each other.
Well, I'm very interested then that we have approached the similar subject with different...
We'll see where this goes.
Yeah.
This episode could be the best
When
and the
I
worst.
was a kid, I remember we went to this Chinese restaurant, and they had sour and sour chicken. And I told them, you know what would make this better? Sweet. And that caught on.
Oh, yeah?
And now it's
Did
a
you
thing,
trademark that?
I trademarked it.
I love Jeff Chicken.
Jeff Chicken.
Jeff Chicken.
Okay, Winfield thunk it. Richard starts it.
All right, this one may be kind of obvious, but social media.
Oh, okay.
Facebook in particular, or Twitter, or Instagram, or whatever, what's Kick, or whatever it happens. Snap slap, or whatever.
Yeah.
Talk about things that are the best and the worst is when old people
make jokes
and just
about
the internet.
how they don't know what something's called, like
the interwebs.
What's it called?
My face,
face smash.
Yeah.
Face smash.
Yeah.
We get it. Can you imagine the first guy that did that, and then
you have indicted me for that same joke 20 times.
Yeah.
I deserve it.
I just do it now to get under Michael's skin.
Drives me crazy.
It's the best part.
Twatter.
Getting under Michael's skin. The best and the
best,
worst.
the best
but mainly the best.
Because you're stuck in there.
I just hate the faux pretending. Like, just you know what it's called.
You're not an idiot.
Bill Belichick, you know that it's called Facebook.
Yeah, I don't like to see people on
on
the FaceTime. Or
it's for a person that I'm sure has 1,000 plays memorized,
right?
If not more, that knows everything.
Literally human
you
computer.
You can't remember 2 words in a row. Fuck off. That's what I want to say.
So, the thing about social media, it's great in so many ways. You're able to connect with people who have similar interests to you.
Yeah.
Or you're able to keep in touch with people who maybe you dropped out of contact with. A lot of my friends from high school that, were great friends, and then we got, went to college and kind of got on with our lives, and who knows what happened to them. And now I'm able to have these conversations with them on a daily basis about really important stuff or really just trivial BS type stuff.
Yeah.
And it's great for that. It also means that I'm on social media all the time, and I really feel like I don't want to be one of those people who's like, I'm going to take a break from social media. That always feels very like self-important whenever somebody announces that.
Yeah.
It's like, just do it if you're going to do it.
It does seem like a flavor of vague booking.
Yes.
Like, I need some sympathy. Is everything okay?
Such a terrible day, ...
Yeah.
But there's so many negative things about social media, whether it's online bullying or the fact that you're basically selling out your entire online history for the chance to connect to people. There's just so many positives and negatives too. I think that's something a lot of people probably feel like in a perfect world, there's some sort of like way to use social media that's not being used right now, or there's some sort of social media app that holy grail that's out there.
Yeah.
That just doesn't exist.
Well, I think that there is this thing that it both connects and it distances at the same time, which is what wasn't really what it was intended for. It was intended to connect people that were far apart so they could share with their common interests, but at the same time it kind of isolates and bubbles you and allows you to stay in your common interests and not really have to move outside of it. And you physically don't have to move outside of it.
Yeah.
You physically don't have to go and interact with people. And so, as you said, with like bullying and like, one of the worst things is like online tough guys.
No.
Where it's just like people that have these just like online personas to get across their heinous thoughts and views.
Yeah.
And then would never step up and say these things to people to their face. Or you run into these people who, are kind of coming out of the woodwork a little bit, who actually do come out, and you're like, oh, well, this was built on like a world of isolation, and you think that this is what the world is like. You think that the real world is where you can go up to someone and bully them and call them names and whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh no, this isn't the real world either. Neither of these things that you think are the real world
Is the real
is
world.
the real world. Yeah.
And to get back to my original, I guess, kind of cap this off with my original, what I was thinking about with social media. Yes, I've been able to get back into contact with so many people that, I had these relationships with 25 years ago. That also means I've been now in contact with people who have changed dramatically in the last 25 years.
Yeah.
And it's always disappointing whenever you sort of start having interactions and see what people are posting, and it's like, ugh.
Yeah.
I guess maybe there was a reason why we fell out of touch.
Yeah.
But now we're like kind of bonded back online, and it's like, how do you get out of that? It's rough, man.
Yeah. Okay. I'm interested in seeing how many of these things are the best and the worst, and how those are integrated, or how they're almost inseparable. Like, because it seems like proximity makes it the best and the worst. I can
Right.
feel close to people I love, and I can feel close to people I've grown to have different points of view than.
Right, and
Yeah.
I'm also forced to have proximity to people who are trolls who are just on there to make other people upset.
Yeah. Yeah. So it almost seems like they're often just they share a node of commonality that makes them both of those things.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Michael, what do you got?
Having French fries in the car
Oh wow.
on the way home.
Okay.
The act of picking up fries, or let's say you're going out and you're making a run for lunch and you're going to your favorite burger place, maybe Fat Burger, maybe Carney's, something, and you're driving home and you're like, I'm going to reach into that bag.
Yes.
I'm just going to get
Wait a second, let's back up here. What kind of monster gets a burger at Carney's?
whatever.
That's the hot dog train.
It's a hot
right?
dog train place.
Yeah, you get a burger and a dog. You get the red hot split on the bun with this
Oh.
New Yorker style for
What?
the hot dog. And you just get a little burger
What
too.
do you get at Wiener
The
Schnitzel?
point is, you're driving home with some French fries on the front passenger seat.
Yeah.
Because you made this lunch run. And you're like, I'm just going to have a French fry. And you reach in and you're like, oh, these are too hot. But they're like, oh, I'm still going to have one.
Mm-hmm.
And you take a bite. Two things happen. One, it's delicious. Two, you drop that fucking French fry. And it's in between the console
Yeah.
and the side of the thing. And you get home and maybe you don't have many French fries as you would like to have had with the rest
Yeah.
of your meal. But the next day, your car just has that grease fry smell that you just cannot.
Yeah.
You know it's there, and then you're kicking yourself for falling into temptation.
Yeah, suddenly your car smells like the Iowa State Fair.
And you just
Yeah.
can't believe it. You're just like, I'm so mad at myself for doing this thing that at the time I thought was, God, such a good idea.
There are things that happen that you wind up realizing this is a choice that I've made.
Yeah.
One of them is when, as you said, the fry is too hot. So you make the choice to hold the fry up to the air conditioner vent to cool it down. And at some point you realize you're driving one-handed and endangering yourself and other people around you just so you can cool down this damn French fry. The other one is when you make the choice that you're getting, okay, so you're getting the burger combo.
Yeah.
You're getting the fat burger with fries. And then you realize, oh, I'm going to eat some fries on the way home. What I can do is order a second thing of fries, and those are my road fries.
Oh,
Road fries. You got this figured out, man.
And then you realize I've just eaten 2 orders of French fries. Yeah. And it also doesn't matter because you're still going to eat all of the French fries before you get home. It's a
there's
bad situation.
There's the
potential.
There's that conundrum where you're just like, oh, I can't believe I kind of ruined my meal. And then then your family knows. You walk in the door and you're like, didn't you get fries?
Yeah.
No.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't want fries.
For me, it's the taco that I think somehow I will eat totally intact, and it won't shatter into shards as hard shell tacos do. And then the cheese, what is cheese when you get it on the taco becomes orange Christmas tree tinsel or something as it falls to the ground in your car.
We all have times when we've been just late, or like I know that like sometimes I've gone out for lunch and I had to go to Target, and the Target drive is a 19-minute drive, and the drive back to work is a 19-minute drive, and just stop off and get a burger or something, eating it in the car on the way home, just to like in your head, like I'm gonna just save time, and it just never works. Like there's always the French fry thing that's just like, oh man, and as soon as you see it, it falls.
Yeah,
and it's always slow motion, and you're just like,
I'm
never gonna see that guy again for another month, and my car is just gonna. It just permeates. It just sits in there, and it's awful.
Yeah,
it's great and it's awful.
It's great and it's the worst. Man, Freddie.
So my second one is also food related, and I'm just gonna say it's just in general Yoshinoya beef bowl.
Oh,
I don't know if depending on where you're listening to this. I don't know. I don't think Yoshinoya is a national thing. I think it's a regional West Coast thing. But it is and I'm using air quotes here, Asian.
Yeah.
Fast food place. Essentially what they have is...
It's kind of like Panda Express.
Sort of, except they only specialize in beef bowls. And when I say beef bowls, I mean their beef, it's boiled beef. Now, friends, when I say boiled beef, I know you think,
yeah,
that's the best way to cook beef, by
brings
boiling
out the flavor.
It is not.
Makes it taste like a horse hide or something.
It is not good tasting. But what it does taste like is Yoshinoya.
Calendar year 2019, how many times have you gotten a Yoshinoya beef bowl?
Twice.
Okay, that's not bad.
Well, that's the thing. I know that it's not great. I know that I'm going to be disappointed when I get it. And about once every 6 months, I drive past Yoshinoya and go, you know what?
Beef bowl time.
It's time. It's time to break into the beef bowl. And then I eat it, and then it's like, oh, this is boiled beef.
Yeah.
What the
cabbage.
fuck? What the fuck?
Seems like a diarrhea bomb waiting to happen.
And that's the other problem.
Okay.
Then I wind up on the toilet for the next 30 minutes, cursing myself for doing it again. God damn it. Yeah. So, but I will go back to that boiled beef well every 6 months or so, like clockwork.
Do you derivate and consume their like fried egg rolls or there's like some cheesy thing?
It's always the same thing. It's the large beef bowl. Maybe the problem is I'm getting the large. That's the other problem. I'm not even hedging my bets by getting the small one in case I don't like it again. And I get the large one like an idiot. And of course, now one of the things about Yoshinoya is they've tried to rebrand themselves. I've realized this last few times I've gone in. Yeah. They now have like shrimp, because that's a place I trust getting seafood from. Yeah. I don't know if it's boiled shrimp or exactly what they're doing with it. Yeah. But like, oh, we've got Angus beef. You're still boiling it. Doesn't matter if it's Kobe beef. It's boiled beef. And it's like these there's like these really thin strips of it.
Isn't there
It's
some
just-
restaurant where
ugh.
you go to boil the beef, the thin strips of beef, washu or something like that?
Well, it's shabu shabu,
shabu
right?
shabu.
Well, there's probably a way to do it correctly.
Washu,
I don't
washu.
Washu.
That's what Jet Li was an expert in, like the martial arts. Sorry.
washu.
Washington University.
Wazoo.
Wamu.
Wazoo State, everybody. Where boiled beef is king.
Yes.
No, I'm sure there are many fine ways. Like sous vide is basically when you cook steak that way. Isn't that what you're basically doing? Is boiling it, right?
Of sort. It's within a bag. It's not necessarily.
But
it's-
there's boiling involved and there's
Sure.
meat involved.
Yeah.
So there are ways that you could get. There's ways you can get to boiling beef that would probably be fine.
Boy,
Whatever Yoshinoya is doing is not it.
you know the French really had it right when they called it sous vide rather than boil in a bag of beef.
Yeah. That's so elegant.
Yeah,
like
it really does.
Yeah.
So it's the best because here's the thing. The first couple of bites, pretty damn good. But the more you eat of that, just the worse it gets. And by the time you're about 2/3 of the way done, it's like, oh, this is going to be a slog. But I can't. But I know I'm not going to come back for 6 months, so I might as well power through it like an idiot.
Boop. That's the tone to indicate we've stopped talking about boiled beef.
Thank God for that.
We are now on to the rest of the podcast. Winfield.
My second choice is something that is currently within our lives. My life, me and my lovely wife Emily's life, living across the street from a liquor store. It can be
wow.
so great.
Yeah.
I really thought you were going to say having a kid.
No, listen,
I really thought you were
Here's
going
the
there.
worst parts of
there is nothing on my list that is like deep.
Okay.
Let's just say that has ever pulled at my heartstrings like having a kid, which is wonderful, and there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing bad about it.
What about boiled kid?
Boiled kid is great.
Okay.
Sous vide
Kid.
kid. But living
Wabu
across
wabu
the
kid.
street from a liquor store is great because literally it takes 2 minutes. You can walk across the street. You can grab a bottle of wine. It's like 10 o'clock at night, and you're like, maybe it's a Friday, and we're like, should we get another bottle of wine?
Oh,
Should
that's
we
awesome.
Should we get a bottle of champagne?
Wow.
Sure. Why not? Whatever.
That's awesome.
Or it's 8 in the morning. Or
Should I get a bottle of wine?
get a bottle of wine. It's like, I need to get milk. I need to get one of these random little things that is
Yeah.
just there.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I can walk there in my pajamas, in my flip flops. I'm back in 4 minutes.
Oh, that's great.
Minute and a half walk there. I know all the timing.
I'm waiting to see what the bad part of this is.
The bad part is when other people are going to the liquor store and full stop. Everyone seems to have like just this liquor store parking lot party at all times.
Oh, yeah.
When there are just people who are just like hanging out at the liquor store. They're not necessarily drinking. They're just there
Really?
blasting their fucking music
Oh.
at like, choose a number.
Yeah.
9 o'clock at night? Sure. 11? Okay. 12:30? The store is closed and it's like 1 in the morning and it's just like there's people out there that are just drunks and yelling and like smoking and it's just like, God damn it. I would rather have stocked up on a couple bottles of wine at
Yeah.
Ralph's rather
Yeah.
than live across the street from this mess.
Yeah.
But it's great. Like, we've had parties where it's just like someone's coming over. They don't need to prepare. They can go to the
go buy-
liquor
yeah.
store and walk across the street. We need another bag of ice. Go to the liquor store.
We need
$7
12 tacos? Oh, that's Chef's.
But like, it is so great and convenient. It is literally a convenience store.
Yeah.
But it is also awful because of just like the people and the detritus and just all the stuff that is involved with being around the persons that
Yeah.
frequent a liquor store that don't live next to the liquor store
Yeah.
are awful.
In college, I had a summer job where I had a convenience store, and I worked from midnight to 6 a.m. shift. And for one night, every day for like 2 weeks, this dog would run through. Like he was on his nightly round of running around. And when you'd go by, I would lean over to the PA, the mic that you'd say, "Pump 5 is on." And I go, "Here, puppy. Here, doggy." And the dog would run around and like try to find the voice that's out there by the gas tanks until I got, and then the phone rang and I go, quick Mart. And the guy goes, bro, seriously? I'm trying to sleep.
Yeah.
And that's when I realized, I'm fucking everything up for the neighbors in the area.
Well, definitely having a child has just heightened our senses of all the number of people like that are out there making a racket. And you're just like, go away.
Yeah.
Get your booze or your cigarillos or whatever and just scram.
Can you imagine, could there be a place with a little bit more decorum? Is there a Kermit Lynch or is it Vendome liquor that's on Riverside or something like that?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas people just maybe wearing ascots or having some of their chef go in to buy the...
Eustace Tilley from the New Yorker pops in.
Yes, this Monaco.
All they sell is like Courvoisier,
Yeah.
Grand Marnier.
Just blasting classical music out of the stereo.
Will you guys shut up with the Rachmaninoff? Trying to sleep.
That's not even the London Philharmonic version of Beethoven's Fifth. Okay, fair enough. Guys, okay, all right, you guys. I'll go and read the halftime spiel. It's halftime. You know what we do at this point. We beg you to go back into the archives. Here, let me open it up.
God, our archives are the best and the worst.
Archive.
Close it up.
Well, okay, let's think of an episode that was both the best and the worst.
Oh, well. There could be any number of those.
Any number of
There's the one that we never released, which was just the worst.
That's right. Do us a favor, go back and you be the judge. What episodes were the best? What were the worst? You can do that by leaving a 1-star, a 5-star. You could also leave a review where you itemize all of them and rank them in an authoritative way from the best to the worst. There's all the ways you can get in the dialogue. You can join us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and suggest episodes that you'd like to hear us do. Past listeners have become participants in the podcast by suggesting an episode. I'm not saying it's going to happen to you,
But it could.
but it could. And at the same time, we also want to invite you to share this podcast. You could be the best or worst friend to people you know by either sharing this podcast with people who are going to like it or you know that they will just hate this podcast. I would also like to invite you to write in and decide who you think's the best or the worst in who works on this podcast. Is it Michael or is it Michael?
Hey, wait a second.
Or is it Richard?
Oh, there we go.
Or, okay. Which of them is the best and which is the worst? So, there you go. So we're back and...
Look at that beef bowl bong noise again. Move us along.
It's like a hearing test. I have to raise my right hand if I heard on my right.
Boop, boop. Unfortunately, Mr. and Mrs. Manfredi, Richard has perfect hearing.
They can hear. He can hear every bad thing you say about him.
Horrible thing that you're saying about him. Boop. We're back. So it would be Richard.
All right. So my next one is my childhood love.
Oh.
College football.
Oh.
And I grew up loving college football. I've kind of transitioned towards soccer a little bit more as I've gotten older, but I still love college football. But I do this knowing that it is the most awful, corrupt enterprise you can possibly imagine. You know, the fact that I am watching young men willingly give themselves, brain injuries that will come back to haunt them, for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
And every year I think, I'm out on football. And then the season starts and I'm just sort of flipping through the channels on a Saturday. Oh, look. Oh, wow. Iowa State's tied with Texas. It's the third quarter.
All right, pop quiz.
Guess I should watch it.
We're 2-3 weeks away from football being back?
Yeah. Well, it's already back. If you love preseason.
No, college football.
Yes, college football.
Who is USC playing in their opening game?
Fresno State.
See, there you go.
Wow.
See? That's the thing. I can't get out.
You already know who the first game is.
Well, to be fair, that is like my childhood crush versus my wife. So that's one that is very specific to my interests. I know that one because a lot of my high school and friends that I have now connected with on Facebook will
There
be
you go.
coming down for that game.
Hmm.
But there's just the general ickiness of football and knowing what we know about brain injuries and CTE and all that stuff now. Plus the fact that it's college football, which means that there are people making billions of dollars off of kids who are getting nothing for this.
Oh, so it's not. There's nothing related to the entertainment
they're
value.
getting a free education.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's not about the game.
No, the game's still
Oh,
great, and
okay.
that's why that's the reason I keep getting sucked back into it.
Oh,
Is because fundamentally it's just so much fun, and all of the reasons that I loved college football, all of the weirdness of there being like 120 different teams,
yeah.
and having to try and keep track of all this, and every week there's some bizarre scoreline or some game that went into 8 overtimes or who knows what the hell's going on week to week.
Yeah.
All of those things still exist, and that's the reason I get sucked into it.
Okay.
But I get sucked into it knowing that it is on its, without question, it's a bad thing.
Oh, okay.
That's the problem.
Okay.
I can't. It's like an addiction. I know drugs are bad for me. I keep doing them.
Or like bacon, or we know,
Or bacon, yeah.
We know beef is probably not
like boiled beef is probably
Boiled
not
beef.
the best for you,
Yeah,
but yet I still keep eating it.
Yep.
So you could just take pretty much everything I said about Yoshinoya
and apply it.
and just say college football, substitute it, and we're done.
If you skip past an hour of this podcast discussion, you haven't missed anything. But that doesn't apply to NFL.
I don't. Well, the
They're
NFL. I
making
don't.
millions.
I don't follow the NFL nearly as closely
Okay.
as I do college football, and those guys at least are getting paid for having their brains bashed.
Yeah.
in.
Yeah. All right, Whitfield.
The late night decision to leave the dishes to the morning,
Oh.
which is one of those that in the moment you're like, this is the greatest thing I'm gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
I am not gonna wash up these dishes. I'll just let them soak, which is the greatest lie you've ever
Yeah.
told yourself. And then that's coupled with, well, I'll just take care of them in the morning, as if I'm gonna wake up in the morning because obviously I'm staying up late. And obviously
Plunge your hands into
we're
it.
staying
Yeah.
up late to drink, or obviously we're staying up late to just like put all of our
Getting that bottle of champagne
Put-
from the liquor
putting
store.
all of our cares away to assume that morning me is going to be like totally cool with evening me, like having left like a big bunch of dishes
Yeah.
from cooking dinner, and because usually with us, our sun goes down and then we make dinner.
Yeah.
So by the time we're done with dinner, it's close to 9. Blah blah blah.
Oh, wow. That's late.
Yeah.
Blah 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 means they're boning. By the way,
What?
But the decision of just like
the decision
I'm
tree.
gonna punt, and I don't care what morning me has to say about this. And then morning me is just like, God damn.
Yeah, morning me is upset with your decision tree that led you down
Yeah.
this path.
He just can't believe it. He can't believe he did it to me again, because there's nothing that like morning me can do to get back at evening me, because morning me is usually like suffering from like a little bit of a hangover.
Right.
He's got like the double whammy. But like morning me is just like, there's literally nothing I can do to evening me.
Yeah, you can't.
I can't. It's too far away. Like, what am I gonna do? Not take a nap?
Yeah.
That afternoon me is like overrules both of those at that point.
There's always this move, which is I'm going to do the big stuff. I'll do the pots and pans. But I'm going to leave like the dishes and the silverware. I'll do that in the morning because that's easier to do. It's never easier to do that. That's how you wind up with like 2 forks and a spoon that are clean left in your apartment. That's how you wind up with that.
That's very compelling.
Like if we had
Okay,
like a dishwasher, just throw it in the dishwasher. We don't have a dishwasher, but it's just one of those things. It's just like, God. I think it's part of it is like the regret of not being able to get back at evening me. Like, because what's the punishment? Go to bed early? I fucking love to go to bed early. If I can go to bed early at 9 o'clock most of the time, that's great.
Michael, Big Fun Winfield over here.
Yeah.
All right.
Jeffrey,
No, I'm already.
Jeffrey Big Yawn.
This is finally. I used to have a habit of doing my shade tree psychoanalysis for you guys, And
you're running on fumes.
I'm running. Well,
We're recording this at 2:30 in the morning, by the way, guys. Don't know if
but
you know this.
I've got you guys pegged. I don't care what you say from here on out. I already have behavioral patterns, and it's going to be in the DSMV from after this thing. You guys, you're going to each have mental illnesses named after you. So congrats.
All right.
Yeah.
High five.
High five.
You're up, Rich.
Guess what, Mom? I'm famous. All right. Round it out. Finish
All right.
it out.
So my last one is Disneyland.
Oh, wait. Back off.
Yeah. I would assume this would also apply to Disney World or any of the Disney theme park properties.
Six Flags, Magic Mountain. No, it's all Disney?
Let's just keep a
stick it to
narrow
the mouse. Okay.
Let's just keep a narrow focus on this
Okay.
because, and the reason I say this is because of the best part. Let me put it this way: for us, those of us who live in Southern California, when it's a Disneyland day, you are so fucking excited.
Yeah.
You are up at like 6 a.m. You're me with the app that's got like the plan to get you on all of the rides and cut the lines, and we're gonna go do this, and it's gonna be just fun.
Mm-hmm.
And think back to yourself going to Disneyland and the drive over. Then think back to yourself at the end of the night at Disneyland at like 10:30.
Yeah.
And how much you are just ready to get the fuck out of Dodge.
Yeah.
And how long that car ride is for us back to Los Angeles from Anaheim. And how much it just feels like I have done the Baton Death March.
Mm-hmm.
And I am going to go home and I'm going to sleep for at least 3 days.
Yeah.
There's just something about Disneyland specifically that just absolutely, and maybe it's because of the whole branding of it. Maybe it's because it's the happiest place on earth.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm a cynic. I don't know. Maybe there's just something about me that maybe I think there's something about the overwhelming happiness of the place
Oh.
that at some point will just get to even the best person.
I think I'm identifying 3 things at least that's going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
One, Disneyland, just going as an adult is different than going with kids. I haven't been with my son yet, but you have 2 kids, and I
Right.
can't imagine what that is like to drag around 2 kids of different ages, different heights, different rides each one can go on. Maybe they're closing in or have closed in on what is mutual that they can both go on together. But I imagine that going with kids just in general is tiring. 2, Disneyland, there's always something going on. It's not like you go to Magic Mountain and you just go to ride the rides. You walk from one ride to another. Disneyland, you are fighting through some event that's happening. There's a parade. There's a Phantasmic. There's a fireworks thing. There is whatever is at any given time. You are not only riding the rides, but you are like battling this.
You're being
park.
inundated. Your senses are just being overwhelmed.
And I think the third thing is when you only go to Disneyland once a year or every couple of years, there is a overwhelming sense of we've got to do it all.
Yes.
Like I know that like I have a ton of friends that have like annual passes, and we'll be like, all right, it's a 45-minute drive out to Disneyland. We'll go for half a day, come back.
Yeah.
I've already been on everything. It's just fun to go. I've already paid for at the beginning of the year for whatever, however, $1,000, however much it costs. So it's already factored in that you are not going to see everything. But when you go once or every once in a while, you are mentally like locked in. So you are there for the day, the night. What time does Disneyland close? 11? We're seeing everything, and we're not leaving until you get your money's worth because it's so expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So I think you have all these 3 things of just being inundated and the time and kids. And I think, like you said, at the end of the day, you're just like, we're not doing anything for the next 3 days. You guys are catching up on Netflix and like, see ya.
Yeah, exactly. And
Have fun on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. I think that there is an element of that because I've never done the multi-day. One thing I've always talked about with Sarah is like with kids. Boy, wouldn't it make sense to, even though we're local,
Stay overnight.
get the 2-day pass, stay overnight, not feel like we have to like run a sprint from Indiana Jones ride over to It's a Small World back to something else to be able to get on all the rides and fit it all into one day. But we've never actually done that. So I think you're right. That whole rush of you're so excited to go. And that's the other thing. It's like I will never get it as excited about Magic Mountain as I will about Disneyland. But that excitement also means that you're now in this like super hyper intense sort of feeling.
Yeah.
That there's gonna be a crash, probably.
Yeah.
There just has to be.
I love Disneyland. I get exhausted as soon as I walk in. Like overwhelmed, exhausted, like shut down. Oh my God, this was a bad choice. And I love the place.
Right.
And I think your evocation of the happiest place on earth branding and how I don't know how anything could kind of like live up to that experience. But it does seem like there's something almost exhausting about the overwhelming perkiness of the experience.
Yeah. Sometimes you just want things to go badly a little bit.
Yeah, I do wonder, were you to live in Anaheim proper, would you have that same feeling? Because I know I remember, it's like a 50-minute drive home. It's 50 minutes to get to your car from Main Street.
You've got to walk through California, or the downtown Disney or who knows what.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I would say the feeling's mutual. Disneyland doesn't like you either. Like at the end of the day,
I assumed that, Jeff,
at the end of the day, they're like, how are we going to get these people to leave? I don't know. Fireworks display, big parade, ice cream. They're still here.
Why won't they leave?
Why won't they leave? Why don't they go home? Okay, make an announcement. They're still here.
How late would Disneyland stay? If Disneyland stayed open 24 hours.
Oh, I was there when it did.
Right.
It was the worst.
Really?
Yeah, it became like downtown Abu Ghraib or something like that. It was the worst.
I can't imagine.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine 3:30 in the morning what that would be.
There was
like.
people sleeping in the Hall of Presidents, and it just looked like a bomb had gone off. It was the worst.
That sounds like the worst / the worst.
Yeah. Okay, Winfield. Is that it?
Now I got one more.
Okay.
Bingo.
Bingo?
Literally bingo.
Shouting the word bingo yourself, or hearing the word bingo shouted.
Oh, wow.
Which means you have either won or you have lost.
That's a bingo.
Just with one word. And to win at bingo is great because, it's just like you're lucky to win. To lose at bingo, you're cursing that person that did it before you.
You're telling me there's not
fascinating.
skill involved in bingo, Michael?
There is none. And the luck of the draw, just
Yeah.
one word to just smite you down is the best thing to hear if you're saying it, and the worst thing to hear when you're not saying it, because you're just like, God damn it, I was so close. I was 42 away from this pair of old shoes that I could have won.
Yeah.
Or whatever crappy prize or gift card.
And the worst part is when that 042 has been sitting there for like 8 turns. And you're like, I'm going to get this. I only need one. We've only gone like 9 numbers. I'm already I've got 4 lined up. And it just never comes.
Just hanging out.
That's interesting. I spent the summer doing this raffle at this place I work, and people think they're going to win a raffle. You're not going. There's 4,000 people. You're not going to win anything, and people still go, oh, when their number isn't called. And it's probably because the first 6 numbers are the same. That's the last 2. Or 3.
So funny.
So people 5. There's 50,000 people who have a 5. People get so excited, and then the last 2 numbers. I thought I was going to win that Quiznos gift card.
There is a lady at my work that, like, seemingly, she probably hasn't, but it feels like she's won every drawing and
Office
raffle
thing?
office
Oh, wow.
thing.
EY?
No. It's just this
Our friend
one,
EY, by the way, is
She's a perennial winner.
is
she's
a
just
winner.
a lucky person
Yeah.
who does a lot of bingo, or used to in her day. But there's just a lady at work that's just like, how the fuck did she win that
Wow.
TV again? She won that spa package? There's no way that she's going to use that Best Buy gift. It's like every time it's just like, some people just have it.
Are you accusing her of chicanery?
I don't think so. I think just the bingo balls fall where they may, and sometimes they don't fall for thee.
Is this similar to buying a lottery ticket and scratching off 2 of the $50,000 things and then not getting the third one and going, "Oh, man, I was so close."
Oh.
Oh, I think that there is something with non-skill based gambling or non-skill based prize allocation, or I don't know how you want to base it, that you are a winner until you are not. So that entire time you exist in this world of, it's like potential. You live in the world of potential. You have your plans for that big screen TV while you're waiting for that raffle.
Yeah.
You have plans to. There's 6 buckets at work that you could have put your raffle ticket into it, and you put all 6 into the TV. Maybe you should have put 1 in each of them.
Yeah.
Maybe your chances would have been better. Who knows?
Yeah. Do you feel? I also feel remorse because until that thing was posted, I didn't think I needed that thing. I had no desire for that thing. I didn't think about that thing.
Yeah.
And now, it's an Apple Watch. I think I need that. I don't need that thing. So it's unwarranted pain. I'm feeling suffering from something I never really had any desire for.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Let's rippity wrap. This is very compelling, and I'm super excited because I'm going to judge you guys. So Winfield, French
Isn't that
fries.
literally his job?
So that's literally he's telling us. French fries, alcohol, and food are dishes. Most of your things are regretting decisions with food and drink. Things that like consumption based. And your proximity and how it's like I have it, but then it goes away. You're like, or it's become inconvenient, or it becomes somehow something that's they're inconvenienced by. Manfredi, you're addicted. You're an addict to social media, to beef, to football.
I'm addicted to beef. By the way.
You're addicted to beef.
A Robert Palmer
cover
Robert
band.
Palmer.
And so these are these things that they give you excitement, like Disneyland gives you excitement and adrenaline, and like when you get a like on your
I'm an adrenaline junkie. Is
you
what
are
you're saying.
thrill-seeking adrenaline junkie.
There's no more thrill-seeking than having a thing of boiled beef.
And counting.
And counting the minutes until your stomach explodes.
Gotta get home before I crap my car.
That's a rush.
That's it. So judgment. There it is. There it is for you. I would like to choose these following random things. I think they painted a very compelling story of you, Michael. The relish on your face with the French fries.
Wait, he's eating French fries
with relish? Oh God,
Ugh.
that's weird. You're German.
Worse than beef.
And
boiled.
then I really kind of thought that was an interesting slice of life. The bingo. That is something that in my life I've tried to kind of put my finger on that thing, that feeling. It's like if you bowl a strike and you're not a bowler, you don't bowl, you don't care whether you bowl or not. You bowl a strike and you go, yes, I'm an athlete. And then you gutter the rest of the game. What happened to me being an athlete? Well, the strike was the outlier. And then I'm going to go with living across from a liquor store. So Michael got 3. And then Richard, since I want to show that I don't have any hard feelings, Disneyland.
All right.
Okay. Listen to me judging.
He totally has hard feelings, Michael.
This has been the Mount Rushmore of things that are both the best and the worst. And so seriously, I want you guys to let us know. Write in, DM me. Who do you think's the best between Richard and Michael? Who do you think's the worst?
I don't like this at all.
This has been the Mount Rushmore of the best and the worst. I, as always, am Jeff.
Bong. I'm Richard.
Ooh.
Hi, Michael.
Ooh.